So we got these silver NUVA masks. They're pretty cool. It's a nice color. It's really cool that what the heck, they're $100 each. Every single one is worth so freaking much. Well, everyone except for Lewa's mask in silver. That's worth barely anything. But why? Well, let's answer that question today by talking about the history behind these rare Bionicle masks. And I'll show you a few different MOCs that use these masks. That way, if you have some of these in your collection, you'll be able to use them next time you build a Bionicle MOC. Alright, let's go. So the story here is we got these silver NUVA masks. They were released in the beginning of 2003 and they appeared in these Konohi NUVA and Krana Karl blind bags. In Europe, these sets were in bags. In the United States, they came in boxes, much like the sets you can see here. When you opened these up, inside you got 3 Krana and 2 Konohi NUVA masks. They came in a variety of different colors, but there was a random chance that the masks could be silver. Although that random chance was apparently very random, because those silver masks were really hard to find. Well, there's no exact number to say how rare they were, but I've heard that the odds for getting these were not the standard 1 in 42 chance that was the case with every other mask. No, these were unbelievably hard to find. Some people say that this was because the idea of mask packs or blind bags, well, at the time it wasn't selling as well as it used to be, so just less of them were made. And since these were the rare masks and these things weren't being produced much, that just means there were less silver masks to go around. Whether or not they were selling well is irrelevant. These masks were hard to find in these blind packs, and that's what makes them expensive. But then why is the silver Miru NUVA so much cheaper than the rest of them? Well, this was just the most common out of the bunch. That and a bunch of them flooded the aftermarket after 2003. How that was the case isn't really known, well, at least to my knowledge. It could have just been excess stock that somehow got out of the LEGO factories and into the aftermarket. Yeah, so that's why these masks are rare and expensive. How expensive exactly? Well, the annoying thing here is these used to cost like $35 each, which is still a lot, but it's much less than the hundreds of dollars that they sell for now. During the pandemic in 2020, a lot of collectibles, specifically LEGO, drastically increased in price. Why? Well, since everyone was staying indoors, people looked towards new hobbies because they just didn't have stuff to do. So interest in things like LEGO grew quite a lot. And as a result, people wanted to buy more LEGO, especially the rare stuff, and prices shot up because there was so much more demand. And unfortunately, the prices haven't really gone down since, they've just kept growing. But let's talk about the price of each one. I'm going to base these off of the prices of the last 6 months of sales on bricklink.com. So these have all sold for the price that I'm mentioning. We got the silver Kakama NUVA, Pahatu's mask. I actually own this one. This unfortunately is the only one in my collection. I ended up finding this in a bulk lot that I bought on eBay back in I want to say it was like 2011. But yeah, this is worth about 170 Australian dollars, or roughly about 112 USD. And that's on the lower end. It does sell for much more. Tahu's How NUVA in silver, this one sells for 175 Australian dollar dues, or 116 US dollars. But I have seen this sell for closer to like $200 in the past. The silver Cow Cow, that belongs to Gully. This one sold in the past for 184 Aussie dollars, which is about 122 USD. I have actually seen this one sell for cheaper than that actually. But still, it's around about $100 no matter what. And yeah, like I mentioned before, if you have the Miru in silver, sadly this one's pretty common, it's only about $5. The Akaku, which is Kopaka's silver mask, this one's roughly $200, but in USD, that's $132. The most expensive one though, that's Onawa's mask, the Pakari. This one has sold for 256 Aussie dollar dues, or 170 US dollars. That's just insane, isn't it? If you want a complete set of every Bionicle mask, you need these for your collection, and unfortunately they're gonna be frickin' expensive. It really took me by surprise when I learned how much these things cost and just how rare they actually are. I kinda just dismissed them and assumed they were super common. If you want these in the other traditional colors that they appeared in those mask packs, they're relatively cheap. You make them silver and suddenly it's worth a small fortune. It's a shame that they're hard to get, because man, they do look really pretty, don't they? I mean, check out this image by Kodak. How good does Tahu look when he's wearing this mask? Now, why don't we take a cheeky look at a few other creations that use these masks? Maybe it could give you some inspiration. Muffin Toa uses the common silver Miru on a revamp of Liwa Fan Toka. How good is it that this MOC is combining the color scheme of Liwa Fan Toka, as well as the armor of Liwa NUVA? Together like this, they make something truly special. Man, that mask does look really pretty. I guess it's good that that one is common. It might actually be my favorite of the bunch. Now, let's see if we can use the silver Cow Cow. My friend Shadowgear uses this mask on a mock called Dominion. Now yes, this is the blue and the red version of the mask, not the silver one. But I tell you what man, I could not find any mocks that use any of the other silver masks. And I searched for hours. That's how rare these things are, man. No one has them and no one uses them. But still, this sick shoulder design here, you could totally use the silver mask in the exact same context. And I think it would look really nice. You combine it with a few other silver armor pieces across the rest of the body, it's gonna look super pretty. This is a fantastic use for this mask. Now, how could Tahu's mask be used on a mock? Well, Tony A has a creation called the Tarnished. And if we take a look at the face, we can see the white version of this mask is being used here, but it's being placed on its side. So we're just getting a look at the top of the forehead here. The unique, almost like liquid texture of this mask, it pairs very well with the teeth and the eyes. When we put it all together like that, it's a lovely looking head design. And I think it looks especially good on this skeleton with guts hanging out of it. I reckon you could still build this in silver and it's gonna look really nice. Pahatu's mask is being used here on Brick Thing's mock, and using it to make one of those really fancy hats. That's so clever. Brick Thing describes this mock as an exploration of color, fashion, and hairstyling, incorporating patterns and shapes that wouldn't normally be expected in a small Lego model. And mission accomplished, dude. The hat and everything else on this mock is so well built. It's a very unexpected use for this mask, but it just works. That's the creative genius of Brick Thing. He's such a talented builder. Logan W reimagines Onoa with some more modern G2 pieces. And you know what? There's something special about seeing Onoa Master of Earth's torso piece paired with this mask. The textures and the big shape of both of these parts, they're a perfect fit. Maybe you could do something similar. But you could add the silver mask instead of the black one. And then hey, maybe you could deck this mock out with a bunch of other silver armor pieces, and it's gonna look really cool. And then finally, Kopaka's mask. Well, Poor Disadvantage gives us a Kopaka revamp that uses the white mask. But hey, with all the light grey and the silver armor that's on this creation, I think that silver NUVA mask would fit right at home on this. So if you are making something that really layers on a bunch of silver armor, then this mask is gonna be your new best friend. So there you go guys, that's the story behind these rare Bionicle masks. And that's a few different ways you could use them in your own creations. Do you have any of these in your collection? Were you surprised to learn that you're actually sitting on a small fortune? Or do you plan on using them in any of your upcoming creations? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear what you're thinking. And hey, if you enjoyed the different mocks that I showcased in today's video, be sure to check the links in the description below. I'll have links to all their stuff right there, so you can go and check out their other work, maybe give them a like, give them a follow, go comment on their stuff, and let them know what you think of their incredible creations. But that's all for today's Rare Parts video. Is there a rare part you'd like to see in the next one? Let me know. Thanks for watching guys, happy building, and bye for now.